Welcome to a new class on the Unbounded Mind. And here's what I'm going to talk about today. And of course, I'm going to do some practical exercises as well. Okay. Here's something that we all experience. Okay. Especially if you want to do your own thing, right? If you don't want to follow orders, if you don't want to sort of put it, we're all on a path of growth, especially in this group, right? Not just, something about our mindsets is similar, right? We want growth, we want personal growth, we want to create something, we want to leave something behind, or at least, create something more, right? Now, the greatest obstacle is getting confused along the way, not knowing what to do in the moment. How do you get to the next level? What are the next steps, right? And we all experience that. You get this huge motivation. Let's say you see somebody doing something, and you're like, man, I could do something similar. And I know I can do it. I know I can do it. I just don't know where to start. And in this day and age, there are, so many different voices, so many different influences, right? You go through YouTube, you go through video, from video to video to video, you listen to different people. And I'm sure I'm just one of the voices that you listen to, right? Just one influence. There are many others. And it's just fucking confusing, man. And the first thing that you have to understand is that you're not alone with that. Everybody experiences that. I guarantee everybody. No matter what level, you could take the most successful person, the person who's killed it in whatever field, and they experience the same thing. Trust me. From the outside, it might look as if they're completely in control. They got everything. They got their shit together, right? But they have moments, or even entire days, where they're like, "Oh shit. I really don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do." It's like it's so confusing. It's so much, and I can't really see the clear path anymore, right? I mean, in order to take concrete steps, concrete actions, you have to connect the bigger picture with your current situation, right? You might already know where you want to go, and I'm going to cover that in just a bit, right? You might know where you want to go. However, if you can't connect that to concrete actions in the moment, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? And I'm sure you've experienced this many, many times where you had this plan. You know where you wanted to go, but along the way, you just got confused. You got stuck. You got took another path, another route, and the goal didn't come to pass. You might have heard me talk about one application of meditation, which is drawing upon certain information out of the ether, if that makes sense. The ether is a word for, how should I put it? It is a realm of energy and information and ideas, okay? Everything that had to be created. You see, what do I have here? What do I have here? I have let me see, a lighter. I have a lighter here. A lighter had to be created in somebody's mind, okay? And believe it or not, when your spiritual senses are open, you can actually see the ideas of people in that more subtle realm. We're all connected to a field of consciousness. And what you're also going to notice when you get deeper into this, you might think up an idea and somebody else catches it. Somebody else picks that same idea up. That's a so-called, I don't know if there's even a term for that, but we're all inhabiting the same field of consciousness. Okay. So ideas are not limit it to yourself. There are ways to shield your idea, something that you created uniquely, and to make sure that nobody else can do that. But that goes too deep. You can actually use spirits for that, so that your idea is not stolen. But before it becomes a physical thing, somebody had to think that up. Somebody had to think about that, right? Now, what you also have to understand is that this realm of ideas is limitless, literally limitless, limitless. There's no limit to what can be done there, what can be created, and what can be drawn upon. Okay? You can literally draw upon something, and as you draw upon it, it is being created. Okay? And I'm going to make it more concrete in just a little bit, right? So here's the actual process of what I'm talking about. Let's say you have a goal. And that's the most important thing, actually. You need to have a goal. There is no discipline, there is no path, there is nothing if there isn't a goal, right? So the first step is coming up with a goal. And if you can take notes here, okay? This is crucial. You can also do it when you watch the replay or whatnot, okay? You're not just getting a meditation education here, you're getting actually concrete stuff that you can use to kill it wherever you want. Okay. So let me do this for you. The fuck is a pen? Yeah, okay, there you go. Here, you got the goal. Alright. And detail it out. You got the goal, right? There you go. Goal. Detail it out. Now, also assess the current situation. Here's where I'm at. Okay? Here's where I'm at. This is the goal. And now, there needs to be a connection. By the way, if you can connect both of those, if you can put a number on both of those, that's very beneficial. Okay? Now, mind you, in order for you to come up with a goal in the first place, you had to connect to this deeper level. And a lot of this stuff, you're not very aware of what you're doing. In later stages of meditation, when you've done this for a while, you will actually be able to observe what goes on in your mind. Because in order to draw upon an idea and to concoct something, to create a goal, you have to connect to these more subtle levels, which are already part of you. But most of the day you're like this and focused on like the physical world, and you have this tunnel vision. Meditation is in to a large extent expanding awareness. It is expanding presence, awareness, and consciousness. Okay, and as you've done that, creating the path is almost as easy as coming up with that goal. Okay, and this is what we're going to cover today. There are more steps to that, but this is in essence what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to get rid of that confusion, how to get rid of that tunnel vision, and how to develop that ability that you can call upon whenever you're confused, whenever you are like in this, you know, I don't know who was it, but there was some author who called it the gray zone. When you're maybe doing busy work, but you're not actually doing work. You're checking your emails instead of doing what's supposed to do, because in the moment you're like, you don't know what to do. It's just kind of like, man, there was something that somehow I should make this happen, but I don't know how. And in moments like this, you can just sit down after this class, after you learned this, you can just sit down and you realize, man, I'm confused right now. I need to call upon my occult powers, because that's what it is. Okay? You're calling upon hidden abilities of this avatar that you inhabit. You're not your physical body. You're not your physical body. We're actually all the same consciousness. We exist in this consciousness field, and we have a physical body that is inhabited by a spirit. But it's the same spirit within all of us. Okay, we're actually all one. But we have this physical body, and then it has, through certain techniques, you can unlock secret powers of this avatar. And this is what I'm going to teach you today. Okay. And I learned this from what was his name? But he was like a teacher of mine too, in a sense. And he was a physicist and also a consciousness explorer. Okay, so he was very much a rational person because that was his job. He was like super, like, I don't know what this guy's IQ was, like, I don't know, like extremely intelligent. And but on the other hand, he was a very spiritual person too, like very much into astral travel and meditation and all of this stuff. And he was way older than me, way older, so he had a lot more experience, and he taught me a couple of things, taught me what to do. Now what I'm going to show you how to do, he used to, I mean, he at times they had to analyze code. Okay. And yeah, they had to write a code for some sort of program. And obviously, I mean, with these lines of codes, at times you're gonna make mistakes, right? And they had to debug them, right? Now nowadays there would probably be software for shit like that, but back then when he was doing that, I think in the 90s or something like that, there was no program for that. So he had to, they had to debug them themselves. The programmers had to debug the code, which would take a long fucking time, right? Because you would have to look at every fucking line. Each line you would have to check out and see if there was a bug in there. So he had written the program, and he was actually famous for that in his lab and in his environment. He would go sit down into a quiet room, and he would sit down for a couple of minutes and pull up the lines of bad code out of his subconscious, and they would come up, and his subconscious would process this whole thing very, very quickly. In a couple minutes he would do the work that would take, if you would do it in a normal state of consciousness, and it would have taken days or even weeks to get this shit done. He would do that in minutes. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do, because you can use that to do exactly what I was just talking about. You have the goal, right? You know how that should look like, and you have your current situation. Now you have to somehow connect those two, right? The process that I'm going to teach you is in essence this. We're going to go into a different state of consciousness. The first meditation is going to be a guided meditation where I teach you to relax first. Okay, I'm going to guide you into more relaxation where you can let go of the day-to-day thoughts that you have right now. Okay, in later stages you won't need that, but for most of you this is necessary right now. So the first meditation is basically just cleansing you of, of the day and whatever goes through your mind right now. Okay, this is very beneficial in itself. Now you got this here, right? You got your current situation. Time and space don't really exist in more subtle realms. So what you can do is you can change your state of consciousness here. You can go into a higher realm, a realm of ideas as well as energy, where everything comes from. And then you can put out a specific intention and work in unison and harmonious with your subconscious mind, and you can specifically put out the intention, this is what I need to do right now in order to accomplish this goal. Okay, your subconscious is going to process it. Your subconscious is more powerful than it's literally a supercomputer. Okay, it's extreme. I mean, their human potential is insane. Okay, we're just never taught how to access that and how to use it. But I mean, this is nothing. This is literally nothing. But your subconscious will process everything that you've ever heard, everything that you ever like taken in through your senses, and it will come up with the solution. But not only that, it can draw upon all of the information out of the ether to let you know, okay, this is what you need to do right now. And it will take into consideration all the likelihoods of different events. And it's an insane mathematical operation that takes place at that point. Okay, but that's what it is. Okay. Okay, quick recap. You got the goal, you got your current situation, and you got tunnel vision, right? You want to get there, but you don't know how. You don't know how to get from here to there, right? So what you need in this moment is the next step in order to get there. You go from a reactive state of mind into a more relaxed state of mind, an expanded state of awareness. Put out the intention to receive the next step, to know what it is you need to do right now in order to get there. And after a couple minutes, it depends on many different factors. Okay, you can't really say it's like after 2 minutes, after 3 minutes, after 4 minutes. It will take a couple of minutes, but it's never going to take, I've never had it take longer than like 5 minutes. Okay, and I'm sure it's going to be the same for you. So this is in essence what we're going to do today. Okay, and you're really, I mean, how are you going to put a price on that? How are you going to put a price on it? You can't. You just can't. This shit is just insane. It's just insanely valuable. Okay, and it's not even a fraction of what you can do with your mind through meditation. But this is what we're going to do today. Okay, so let's go into the first meditation. Let's go into the first one. Give me 1 second. I gotta grab my watch here to time myself. The time what we're going to do here. Okay, so the first meditation is I'm going to guide you into a more clear and expanded state of awareness, and we're going to spread it out a little bit because I realize that it's very important for a lot of you, and I've heard from many of you that it's very enjoyable to do these meditations, and why not? I mean, we have enough stress, so let's get rid of a little bit more of that. Okay, so let's do that with me. All right, let's do that with me, and we're going to start by sitting down. I'm sitting cross-legged. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. All right. What's important is that you, like, if you wear rings or something like that, get rid of them. The chains that I'm wearing are not distracting. The rings are. Okay, there you go. That's off. Okay. Now, just let your hands rest on your knees, and I'm going to guide you into a little trance, and then we're going to do the meditation. And the only thing that's important with meditation is don't lay down, but keep your head, your spine semi-straight, right? You want to keep it straight so that kundalini can flow upwards. However, when I say straight, it doesn't mean that your head is like this, It's not that you have a fucking piece of wood a straight piece of wood in your spine. It's not like that. Your head will tilt slightly forwards because you're so relaxed, and it's almost as if, imagine falling asleep. When you fall asleep, it's your head tilts slightly forwards. You go into a really relaxed state. So don't try to sit like this. That creates unnecessary tension and doesn't allow you to access really deep levels of self. Okay? So just do that with me and follow the instructions, please. Okay? As you have taken on the position for the meditation, breathe in and close your eyes, and as you breathe in, turn your eyeballs as far backwards as you can. As far backwards as you can. Now let the breath come and go as it wants to. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in through your chest. Now, with your next breath in, imagine breathing in through your solar plexus. With your next breath, imagine breathing in through your knees. With your next breath in, imagine breathing in through your toes. Okay, just let the breath come and go as it wants to, and just be aware. Just be aware. You can completely let go. All sounds that you might hear around you are just relaxing you and are actually a sign that you will succeed with whatever you want to accomplish. So just let go. Now become aware of the subtle vibrations within you as well as around your skin. And you become aware that your awareness is actually not limited to your physical body. Your awareness is everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And through this energy, you're connected to everything. In fact, you are this field of energy that has just taken on, temporarily, a physical vessel. Now go back home. Allow yourself to be home again. This is where you originate from, not your body. and feel the incredible relief that comes with it. You don't have to react to anything. And you're finally coming closer into the freedom. The closer you get to your true nature, the more freedom you can experience. In later stages, you might and be able to merge with the source of it all, which is undescribable. The amount of energy, freedom, peace, and bliss is extremely hard to process for the nervous system of the human being. It is almost unbearable, because the human body is not built for it. But just, for now, just experience you as part of this field of energy, which is your true home. It cleanses you of the stresses, it cleanses you of the pressure. It's just cleansing, it's just cleansing. It brings back sanity. And it removes Maya. Maya is the illusion that we are bound to in the physical body, that everything is separate. It is not. Remain in your true home. This field of energy. Be it. Okay, now please come back. tears are the reflection of a cleansing process that takes place as you go into that. There's a lot of stress hormones that are being released. Okay, I'm not a bitch. Guys, I'm not crying out of weakness. I'm crying out of bliss. There's a difference. It is incredibly beautiful to get there. Okay, now we don't have that much time on these classes, right? But I want you to redo this because I showed you the path right now, how to get there. And it's very, very beneficial to do this. What I want you to take away from this is from this experience is this. As you're able to go outside of this perspective, even just a little bit, out of the physical body perspective, where everything is like this, you can connect to a higher perspective, which is closer to the actual truth of what is. Okay? And the more you do this, the closer you're going to come to the actual truth of what is. But never mind, even just a little bit outside of the human perspective of what we experience on a day-to-day basis, all things all of a sudden become possible. Because you're no longer trapped in this perspective, in this small mind. And in later classes, I'm probably going to have to show you how to use that to reprogram yourself. Because any future possibility exists in this field of consciousness. Right? And in this higher perspective, you can contact that vibration, that specific frequency that is the future possibility that you want to have, and then you stay with it, and the energies will flow through the physical body, and you will tune into that, and that way you can literally create your future and what's going to come into your life. Because once you go off frequency, you just go back to it, right? You just go back to it. You just go back to that frequency and reprogram this energetic system that your physical body is. And it will stay on that frequency. And I can, right now, as I'm closing my eyes, I can see exactly what's going to happen in July 2018 in my life. Where I'm going to be, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to live. And you can do this too, okay? Now, this is nothing new. This is nothing new, man. Like, not even, I mean, you don't even have to go into a magic or occultism to apply this. I mean, there was this one book that I was recommending in one of my YouTube videos. It was The Signs of Getting Rich, man. He was essentially talking about the same stuff, man. Everybody fucking knew this. Everybody fucking knows how that works. All I'm doing is I'm giving you the concrete steps and the practical exercises to do that thing and to use it on a day-to-day basis. Besides that, man, let me tell you guys, in situations, you might ask, man, should I put it? The benefit of emotional stability in your life can't be overemphasized. Emotional stability is so crucial, because if you're in a moment of emotional vulnerability, weakness, or stress, aren't able to balance yourself out, you're gonna get off course and you're gonna do something that you're gonna regret. It's just what it is. Okay, we all struggle with that. However, if you use, for instance, that meditation that we just did, and the longer you do it, the more you do it, the deeper it's going to get, the more blissful it's going to be, and the more cleansing it is. The more you do it, you're going to be able to balance yourself out no matter what happens in your life, no matter what. And most of the things, by the way, that we experience aren't that horrible, right? However, our brains are not built for this environment, right? In our subconscious, we're still in a fucking jungle, and around the next corner there could be some sort of lion, okay? Lion, something that some predator that kills us and eats us, right? It's not like that anymore. But the mind reacts like that. There are, simple things that happen, and we like in our minds they become very big, and we have the stress response. Now, if you don't know how to manage that, if you don't know how to deal with your emotions, you're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna do something that's gonna that's gonna be reactive, and reactive by definition is just not a good way to live your life, right? So in these moments, you now have a tool to get into a clearer perspective. And as soon as you go there, you'll actually be able to, in a rational and sane way, to think about the situation, to think it through, and to handle it in a correct way. I would I would go as far as like saying that 90% of the problems that people encounter in their lives are because of this inability to handle their own emotions. Okay, handle their own emotions, not being able to take a step back and to calmly reassess, not lose sight of the big picture, and to still see the path, even if you have a little bit of stress in the moment. But that's gonna go away, man. That's gonna be over very soon. And when you have a tool to go there, see the bigger picture again, and operate from that place of silence, everything is possible. Okay, your inner world, control over your inner world will give you control over your external circumstances. Once again, I'm not talking about magic here. I'm not. That's part of magic. However, you don't have to be an occultist or like a magician. You guys know this, man. I'm a hardcore black magician. I'm a sorcerer. Okay. However, some of you aren't interested in that. You just want to be, you just want to benefit from meditation. And this is one of the most crucial ways, dude. This is like, if you get a little bit of practice with this and use it, you will notice, man, you will become more and more and more and more sane. And as you do that, you will see the contrast and the insanity of the world that goes on a daily basis. People are not sane, man. Insanity is so prevalent because people are trapped in their own minds in this fucking little prison. But there are ways out of this prison, and you'll actually, become a sane person, and you'll be able to do good for yourself, but also for other people. Okay. All right, man. I'll leave it at that, and I'll start broadcasting in 10 minutes again. Let that meditation sink in again. You can go back there. The only thing that I want to ask you is not to go back to social media. Don't look at your Facebook feed, your Instagrams, and don't watch YouTube videos. Be with yourself right now and observe your mind. These classes are here to center you. If you let your attention go away, so again, that's not the purpose of this thing. You're here to learn more about your own mind and to access deeper levels of it. So stay with yourself for like 10 minutes. Stay with yourself. If you won't go back into the state, just experience life for once without distractions, and see how your experience of life has already deepened because you have connected to deeper levels of reality. Okay, your whole environment has taken on a different quality. All right. Okay. Okay, welcome back. And I'm starting just a bit. Let the other guys come up. Okay, so most of what we're going to do now is going to build upon this state that we just entered. Okay, we're going to connect to this field. Then, once we have connected to that field, I will show you how to use your intention to just draw upon whatever it is that you need at that point. By the way, if you want to use this state, this is also a very good state to call upon spirits. Scrying, for instance, would work that way. Okay, you go into this state and then you just put out the intention, or you focus on one specific entity, and you will see that, and you will be able to talk to that spirit. Okay. It's all very simple, but not easy. It's all very simple, but you'll get there. Don't worry. Don't be discouraged here. Yeah, let's go into that. Let's do that. Once again, sit down, semi-straight, spine is semi-straight, and close your eyes, and as you breathe in, roll your eyeballs as far backwards as you can. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in through your chest. And let go of all tension. Now, as you breathe in, imagine breathing in through your solar plexus. Let go of all tension. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in through your knees. And the next breath, imagine breathing in through your toes. Let the breath come and go as it wants to. Now become aware of the subtle vibrations inside of you and around your skin. It's like a buzzing feeling of energy. It's all around the physical body. Become aware of that buzzing. Subtle vibrations. And now realize that you're actually these subtle vibrations. And you're connected to a field of energy. You are the field of energy. Realize that. Become aware of that and just be the field of energy. And allow your awareness to be liberated from your physical form and be the field of energy. But this is the home that we're all yearning for. Now, as you have become that field, become what it is that you need to do now in order to accomplish your goal. Just stay with it. As you have become the field, now become what it is that you need to do right now in order to accomplish your goals. And do that until the answer comes up. I'm not going to tell you what it feels like in your body or what you're going to see in your mind's eye, because that's just one more thing that you're going to latch onto. You will know. You will know. You will know. You don't need me to tell you what it feels like for you. You will know that. And you will see it and you will put it together. So as you have become the field, become what it is that you need to do now or next to become your goal, to accomplish your goal. Okay, now please come back. Okay. Now, regardless if you have already found the solution or not, but what you should have experienced is that your mind begins to work, right? Your subconscious is at that point being used the way it is supposed to be used. See, all the information that you take on or take in on a daily basis is being run through at that moment. Okay, your subtle energies, or no, let me put it like this: you change your awareness, and as you have become that field, you tune in into a specific outcome, which represents a specific frequency. Based on that frequency, well, you're putting yourself on a new frequency. But in order to do that, you have to first step out of yourself. Do you realize that? You can't affect the system that you're still part of. So that's why, in order to do that, you have to change your state of awareness and become more. And from that outside perspective, you take on a new energetic quality or tune into a new frequency, and your mind and your emotions and all of that are going to adjust. And you can know everything. This is also how you do remote viewing, man. This is also how you can look into other people's minds, because just as easy as you can look for a specific guidance that you need right now, a next step on your path, you can look into another person's mind. You can look into different places. Okay, mind is unbound. We're on the unbounded mind. Mind is one, and your vessel can know everything. There are no secrets. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, regardless of, like, maybe this time wasn't long enough for you to see the solution. However, that is exactly how you will get the solution. Okay, this is the path. This is the way to get it. And for some of you, you will have the pieces will have put themselves together, where you know, okay, this is where I need to go. So there should no longer be a need for confusion, no longer a need for a lack of guidance, because you can find it. Of course, there are exceptions, but for the most part, 80-90% of your time, when you're faced with an obstacle, with not knowing what to do next, all the worry comes from that, not knowing. All action comes from certainty, and confidence is certainty, is trust that you will know the solution, and knowing the solution will get you to do action. Okay, and this is how you attain certainty. You will make your subconscious your friend. You will get rid of that torture that most people live with. This constant struggle where they don't know, man. They're fighting themselves, but you can make peace with your subconscious and make it your friend and your partner. And at that point, things become possible that you have never dreamed of. Okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to cover today, and I want you to ask your questions now. Please go ahead, ask your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. Have you ever read Dianetics? Not completely, but yes, I have. I have read it. Matrix, how do you call the difference between versions of the future in your imagination? Tell the difference between versions of your future imagination. No, it's mainly about what your question tells me is that you're still shifting between your analytical mind and that outside perspective. So get that outside perspective clearer, And at that point, you can shift, you can change. And it's kind of like these TV channels. Your awareness or your attention or your concentration goes to one outcome, one future outcome, and that will be a clear frequency. You can also shift at that point. We look for another one. There should be no guesswork involved. Between visions, yeah. It's all about clarity and proficiency. There's no guesswork there. You just have to get into the right state of mind, and yeah. I mean, do these exercises a couple of times, but you should be able to get the gist of it very quickly. I don't know if you knew this, but no, I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go into that. What would be some of the first steps in meditation to changing your eye color? Well, I would use subliminals for that, because I mean the amount of attention that you have to put into that, it's just like, for me, not worth it. But I mean, if you want to keep that going, just listen for subliminals. But when it comes to stuff like that, you would have to listen to that for at least a month daily. At least a month daily. I don't know. I think on YouTube you can find like I don't know, a green eye subliminal. Yeah. So if you want to try it out, try it out. Definitely works. Definitely works. Is it most beneficial to do this after a study lesson? Yeah, I would say so. I do it in the morning. I do it in, like, my meditations always, they're always different. So at times, I do this to create my to-do list for the day. After studying, it's very beneficial because the new information you took in will be integrated right away, and you know how to apply it, Yeah. I mean, this is personal growth on steroids. You will grow every single day, and your learning curve will be so short compared to other people's learning curve, because I mean, we're increasing gamma waves. Gamma waves are, they solve the binding problem, making sense of things, which is actually, like the development of the human brain never stops, actually, okay? And okay, kids might learn things quicker, meaning they have a higher neuron production, relatively speaking. But adults, and the older you get, the more abstract you're able to think. So ideally, a 50-year-old has a greater efficiency in his brain than a 30-year-old, actually, or like any age before that. So you're able to understand abstract concepts more and more and more. And if you think back when you were 15, and somebody would have approached you with some sort of philosophy, and so you were probably pretty sharp, and you could do like other things better. But abstract thinking and understanding, ripple effects in terms of your actions and shit like that, you can't approach a teenager with that, because their brain is just not there yet. Now, what meditation does is it speeds up that process. Okay, it speeds up that process of holistic thinking, but at the same time, it also increases your neuron production, and is overall very beneficial to your mind and brain and system. So you never stop growing. If you actually look at it, I think you can see this after the first 6 weeks of daily meditation. Your gray matter actually grows, and you can see that under a brain scan. I mean, there's so many fucking studies on that. But you get more and more brain power, in essence. Your gray matter is actually the substance that is used by the PFC, the prefrontal cortex, to communicate. And the more dense, if you use the statement, I'm great, doesn't make you great in what you already do. And the density of your gray matter uh, is actually responsible for how efficient you think and how. See, the more connections there are, which equates density in your neural pathways, the more deep and the more quick you can process reality, and you can think on a on a much deeper level than most people. And this is promoted by meditation. So you'll actually, you'll get more and more intelligent all the time, all the time, all the time. And does the statement "I am great" make you great in your field, or whatever the question was? Well, I would be more specific with my affirmations. I'll be very specific. Well, it's good that you monitor your self-talk, that uh, you know take control over that. But I would be more specific. I'll be more specific. I'll be more specific. I'm great. Your subconscious, your reactive mind is not. It takes everything literal. Like if you tell yourself, I'm gonna bust my ass today, it will not translate it into I'm gonna work hard and accomplish everything that I put on my list today. In magic, yeah, I'm great in magic. Yeah. I'm the greatest. That's actually what I recommend to all of you. If you want to be great at magic, first see yourself as the greatest, as the greatest magician you can be, and then you know you will find ways to figure it out. It all starts with the goal. It all starts with the goal that you set for yourself. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest witch that's ever that's walking this planet. You know, changing subconscious mind and changing frequency, the same thing. So if you change your frequency, does it also means you're changing the world around you? Yeah, look, bro, everything vibrates. Okay, frequency can be defined as this. Frequency is your man. Define frequency, man. Does somebody have a fucking physics book by like close to them? But like your frequency, everything vibrates, man. Everything. Okay, and energies just have a different. It's something that is non-physical, just has a higher frequency than physical objects, including your body, which is like 70% water, anyways, right? Now, you know that if you freeze water crystals, they take on a different shape. Okay, so they take on a shape according to their frequency. You can make it visible. Okay, architecture is frozen music. Music is of a certain frequency and vibration, and it resonates with the certain mechanisms in your ear that will be translated to your brain, and according to that, your emotions change and shit like that. Okay, now music is actually one of the highest forms of magic. All right. That's what and that's actually why control over the world is dependent on the music industry, the film industry, and shit like that. Because if you want to control minds, control the music, what they listen to, what they watch. It's all programming. Okay. I digress. Man, what was I trying to say? Everything is frequency, man. If you change the energy around you, everything will start vibrating differently. You will, and everybody has certain thoughts and emotions, man. And you will see, you will have experienced this for sure, man. If you're on a different frequency one day, you will attract completely different experiences than when you're like on a different frequency. And the easiest way to say what frequency you're on is to check with your emotions. Okay, and that will tell you, man, am I on a good frequency right now? Am I on a bad frequency right now? You know, that's it. That's it. Everything is frequency. Change like the frequency around you through what we just did. Your subconscious is going to be tuned into a different reality channel. It's that simple. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, it is the same thing. Yes, it is the same thing. Just keep the answer short. As in, so without. Exactly. That's it. As within, so without. As above, so below. You know, and even this lecture happening here is the result of a certain frequency. Paul Siddick. Um, no, I don't know him. Never heard of this guy. Our planet is also on a different frequency now. It's shifting into a different frequency. That's why this stuff is being taught more and more and more and more. You know, there have been cultures on this planet where this was common knowledge. And then I think the level of thinking of certain cultures was just like in the past, a couple of thousand years back, was just completely different. They just had a higher level of thinking, you know. And I think we're going back there because we lived in the dark ages or whatnot, where some people thought, no, this knowledge is what do you think of Jim Carrey as of recent? Is he awoke? Okay. Well, let me go with this first. Well, there's no reason anymore to keep this secret. I mean, the secrecy that was there in the past was a reflection of a certain frequency that our planet was on, where this had to be preserved in certain mystery schools and, because people were trapped in the physical. Now we're coming out of that, and that's why it's being more and more widespread. More and more people are interested in that, Most of you, if you would approach your grandparents with this stuff, they would tell you, like, what are you talking about? Grandson, granddaughter, you need to focus on your career, get a good job. Jim Carrey, I don't even know what happened there. I don't even know what happened there. What did he say? What did he do? Jim Carrey, the bomb. I don't know. I don't know what he did. The financial goal I had now seems too low. Is that a sign of reprogramming? I don't know. I feel the urge to push higher. It's now uncomfortable to have a low amount. Well, I always say that go as high as you can. Go as high as you can, as high as you want, just to get the excitement going. And then you work your way up there. I mean, you go step by step by step. It's not like get the end goal, and you're gonna come back to it again and again and again. So every, like, the bigger the goal, the more like increments you're gonna have, right? So Usually, when you reprogram your frequency, yeah, they usually experience negative first. Mm. Good question. Yes. Okay, let me address the question on Matrix first. Okay, a bit more in depth. Um, yes, what usually happens when you have reprogrammed yourself is more or less you're putting putting yourself into the state of having accomplished it, and your emotions will feel like, okay, what's next? So that's actually a good question. Yeah, that's how I usually experience it. It's kind of like, okay, this is out of the way. What's next? So when I put myself into the frequency of having accomplished something, internally or like spiritually, it's already there, and my emotions shift into, okay, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? And it's not that you experience fulfillment. It's kind of like, how should I put it? Let's say you're hungry, right? You're really hungry and you had something to eat. What you experience is not necessarily fulfillment. Or how should I put it? You're not going to look for the next meal right away. 5 minutes after, you're still digesting and you're thinking about like other things. Okay, what should I do next? What should I do next? That's kind of like what it feels like. It's kind of like the excitement about it is gone, the pressure about it is gone, and you're looking for the next thing. So maybe that makes sense to you, Matrix. So yeah, it could be definitely a sign of having reprogrammed it. And negative feelings first, yes, absolutely, they come first. Your subconscious has, these energies are being filtered through your brain, right? Your brain has different parts. One part, or a couple of parts of them, want to make sure that you're safe, okay? And you don't have negative experiences. And your brain has been scarred up at some point where you had a loss, or you heard something from somebody and somebody told you about the dangers of what could happen, and it has like logically no foundation, but you're still scared of it because your subconscious is reactive. A lot of it is very reactive. It doesn't really reason, So yes, negativity you experience first. You actually have to confront the blocks, which are the root of you being stuck in that situation, and then it figures out a way around that, and then there's a relief, and then there's like, okay, it's done now, tension is gone, okay, what could I do next? So yes, I would say yes, feeling negativity or negative feelings is the first step, yes, in the beginning. Okay, any more questions? Any more questions? When using spirits to influence you towards your goal, is that the same type of effect with the subconscious? Very much so. Yes, yes, yes. You can also go into that state and ask certain spirits to put you onto the frequency of having accomplished something. Part of my routine in the last couple weeks, which is like tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to switch my routine around a little bit. But part of my routine, because I wanted to go deeper into pickup, has been right after getting up, I would go to the mall and have a coffee. That's like 10 minutes from my place. So I'll go to the mall and I have a coffee there. And when I start my day, it's usually noon or even later, and there are a lot of people having lunch there, a lot of girls too, and I just sit there and go into the state and tell the spirit to make whatever girl I see there, whatever girl I'm interested in, to see me as the man of her dreams and to want me to fuck her right now, today, and all that shit. I just experiment with it, and the spirit will do exactly that. He will shift my frequency, but at the same, like, once again, this field of consciousness connects everything. So when I change mine in regards to a specific person, she will perceive me different too, you know. So they're like sitting there, and they like, I haven't said a word, and I'm not even looking into her direction. I just sent the spirit out, and she starts to look at me, now very shy, very shy. Some even, you know, they're sitting very far away, but for some reason they have to look backward, like look back and look me directly in the eye, and they have this look in their eyes. It's like this yearning, and like, oh my God, is it him? Is it him? Is it him? And at times you pick up what they're thinking. You know, it's like, oh my God, what if he's the one? You know, it's funny how women think, man. They always look for the one right guy, right? We're just, the more the better, right? It's like, it's crazy, but yeah, and yeah, they strike up a conversation with me, and you know, sometimes I have to go there and talk to them, but I never do it without indicators of interest first. You know, they have to look at me a couple of times, or we have to have made eye contact where they just don't look over, like, you know, 1 or 2 seconds too long to make it a mistake, right? And I go up, they're like, oh my God, and what are you doing? They're blushing, you know. That's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks, but it gets old pretty quickly. Yeah. And it's also funny how you perceive them differently, because you go into that trance state and this girl is like really fucking hot, right? Really fucking hot, and something within you to like, and you know how it is, man. When you're like, as a guy, you know, as a guy and a girl is really hot, there's like this, it's almost like you're like blind to her flaws, right? You don't see that, you know. She's very aware of that. You're not. You're just a guy who's like poof, and man, we're just very, like, as men, beauty is just our like Achilles heel, right? Can't help it, man. But you're just sitting there and you see this super hot girl and you're like, oh my fuck, like, you're literally like, there's this tension that you feel, right? But when you go into the state and then send the spirit out and you come back, it's funny how you perceive them differently. Where you all of a sudden, you see, like, you know, the stuff in her face where, you know, oh, her skin is not that perfect as a, you know, why did I not see that before? You know, she, like, okay, there's makeup there, but below that I can see the flaws. Also, man, her hips a little bit, I mean, you know, that ass is a little bit too fat, you know. And man, why, I mean, did she take a shower this morning? What the fuck? What's wrong with this girl? You know, all these, you know, you start seeing all these flaws, and at that point you understand that this is the frequency where she will actually be attracted to you, because you don't, how should I put it? You see her differently. You don't, you're no longer insecure in that way, and you don't try to impress her anymore and shit like that. It's kind of like as if she was your girlfriend, and you fucked her like 50 times, and you're like, come on, girl, please don't embarrass me. Like, come on, we're in public. So, I mean, dress up or something, do something, you know. It's very interesting what happens there, and I recommend you experiment with that. It's a lot of, it's really interesting what you learn about yourself too. Really, it's like, oh man, it's like you learn a lot about your own blocks with respect to that. Yeah, and you, one thing that you will notice, any mantra to try on, well, that would be individual, bro. That will be individual. The mantra is to make them work best for the moment. Mantras for the moment. No, but like in general, what I can tell you from my experiences with that, it's usually when a girl is into you, the state of emotion that you're in. Can you give us any new mantra to experiment till the next lecture? No, no, no. Tune into the next one. Maybe I'm gonna give you one, but um, it's really interesting the way you feel towards a woman when when she's attracted, like let's say you're like two people have never met, and you have sent the spirit out to make her completely like see you as the man of her dreams and really see you as like extremely desirable, and you really understand that it's always like two people and two energies interacting, and how your perception about them shifts. And there's a common thread. There's a common thread actually, where when women are extremely attracted to you, your energetic state or your mind state and how you perceive them is in essence like this. You see these little flaws. I mean, she's all right, but she's not. There's this one thing, or like you see these flaws in them. It's almost like and you just can't see them as above you, or how should I put it? You can't, like nothing within you tries to impress them. You're screening them. You're screening them, you know, and you see these little flaws in them, and you're just standing there and like, okay, oh, that was a good one. Okay, try better. Try better. Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Like it's like this, you know, you're completely not attached to it. And this is what the spirits, they change your perception in that way. And she can't help but to be like, oh my God, and she has to validate herself to you. Because I mean, hot girls like that, they hardly ever meet that. Because all guys, they think she's perfect. They just see this incredible princess. You know what I mean? You gotta, I mean, this is like weird. Like for her, it must be weird. I mean, she experiences herself on a fucking, like in the bathroom taking a fucking big shit, you know, and you know she sees herself at 2 a.m. without makeup. She sees herself. She knows what she smells like when she hasn't taken a shower and stuff like that, you know. But wherever she goes, everybody just thinks she's perfect, and she has to live up to this fucking image, right? She has to live up to this fucking image, and every guy, you know, can't wrap his head around that this is just a flawed human being, you know. And if you show up like that, it's like you see all her flaws, and you should like, you know, okay, it's like it's there, it's you're just completely, you're very non-attached, and you're like, okay. But that's not always like that. It's not always like that, because sometimes it really depends on what you want the spirit to do. At times you can let them know, you know, make it mutual. So you're literally feeling these Hollywood movie type of feelings for them. It's like, oh my God, like Titanic type of shit. You know, they go. It's like you know, really this really cheesy and corny romantic stuff. But it all depends on what you ask the spirit to do. And you can really fine tune that, and it also depends on the spirit, of course. Yeah, maybe I went too long into this question, but never mind. Disney fuck it up. Yeah. Yeah, but this concept of romantic love and getting married for love, for true love, is actually a concept out of the, I think, 16th century. That's when they came up with it. Before that, marriage was only for, you know, for resources, only for resources. But in the 16th century, they came up with romantic stories, you know, literature. And then, of course, that was perpetuated through the way you said Disney and the media and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Notebook? How do I shift my mindset from going with the nature, and as to my way should be, my ways are so rigid as it always triumph, and it always triumph. Um, you, I love, you know, it's just a certain way of approaching your blocks, man. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. You know, in the morning when you like, how do you go about your day? Do you just live are you reactive? Do you plan your day? Do you have a to-do list, a daily schedule, a routine of things that you do? I mean, in essence, you are what you do. And repetition creates reputation, and that's it. That's it. So if you want to change, become a different person, do different things. And use, how should I put it, man? Use this technique to create your day, meaning your to-do list, what it is that you need to do. I mean, how do you, I mean, a person or a man usually defines himself through his accomplishments. So if you want to change, tie it to goals, I would say. You have to tie it to goals. So get the goals, change your routine around to support the achievement of that goal, plan your day, and boom, you're a different person. That's it. That's it. You are the result of the 5 things that you do most, I would say. Most people say you're the result of the 5 people that you hang around with, but that's not always true. I think you're the result of the 5 things that you do most. The 5 topics that you entertain most in your mind. That's the frequency that you put out all the time, all the time, all the time. And you're going to change into that. Your life has to follow suit. There's just this time lag. This time lag. But consistency will get you there. Just stay with it. Just immerse yourself in a certain topic, and before you know it, that you can completely transform everything around you. Okay. And I think I should wrap this up here. Your body, remember what you do most. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely part of it, man. And I'm going to have to wrap this up here. Hope you got something out of this. Thanks for being on. And the replay this time is still going to be posted in the Facebook group. The next replay is going to be sent to your email addresses. Okay. Also, what I want you to do is I've posted a link in the subscribers group, and from now on there will be automatic payments. Okay, so if you haven't paid this month yet, please go to that link and sign up. For those of you who have already paid, next time when your pay or your payment is due, please go to that link and sign up. So you will be charged automatically. That will be way less work for me, and it's gonna help me scale this whole thing because there are more and more people that are gonna come in. So, with that being said, see you soon.